All right, well, it's 12:03, so we're gonna get started. I want to thank. So I saw a few people I recognized. Ellen, love you. So glad you're joining us. Jerry, some other names in there.
Shout out to my friend Sarah, who's joining all the way from California.
Hey, I know, that's great. So that's like an hour behind. So we're in the future. Welcome from Colorado. We're happy for everyone that is tuning in right now. We're very excited. So we're actually in the basement of Silver Lining House. This is the administrative wing, and so it's one of our 6 properties. But we want to give you an overview of what today is about. But first, we're going to start with a super fun question. You ready for this question?
I'm ready for this question. Do I get to ask you this question as well?
Are we good, Derek? Sorry, we're still testing it to make sure.
It's still delayed.
It's okay. It should pick back up. Can you give us a thumbs up when it picks back up? Okay. All right, Jaden, I'm going to have you answer this question.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Where's the weirdest place or most unique place or strangest place you have ever slept?
Yes. So my friend who is watching this now will know this, but at my university, our library had these separate sort of study cubbies. You can go inside a door and there's a single desk and really dim yellow lighting. And I would go in there to study, but then often feel really tired, so I'd sleep under the desk. Yes, and a few times students have come in to knock because they're wanting to use a study room, and I'm just napping under the desk. Yeah, I did great in college. It was wonderful.
Yeah, okay. So I have to share this story because I promised my son that I would share this story. He wanted to play a joke on us this week, and when it was time for bed, Elijah, he said, I'm going to sleep on the floor. And it was a joke. He put his pillow down. We have a nice Sonic pillowcase. He got his blanket. He laid down on the floor. And there's like this cushiony material on the floor, so it's actually pretty comfortable. And what turned from a joke turned into reality. He actually fell asleep, and he spent the entire night sleeping on the floor of his bedroom right next to his bed. So we've all been there,
Yeah.
you know. Slept in unique places.
If you have stories that you want to put in the comment about places that you slept, you will be joining us and all the guests who will come on the show to answer. I think it'd be really fun to hear the answers. Okay, Jonathan, you are relatively new to Providence Network, and in your time here, you started a new community called The Table. Can you share what that is?
Yeah, this is a great segue into what we're doing today. So today we're talking about we're introducing some staff, so we have special guests. I know that Jaden and myself are incredibly special guests, but we have more special guests, more staff members for you. And then we have, so we're going to be sharing about staff. We're going to have them share some stories, some ways of impact. But then overall, we're going to be introducing this monthly giving community, The Table. And that's like a fancy way of saying, like, if you give monthly, you're a part of this community that's called The Table. That's really people coming together in mass to make an impact at Providence Network through what we're trying to do here. And so it doesn't matter if you give $5 a month or $500 a month, you're making an impact. You're partnering with us. So what are some of the unique aspects of The Table, Jaden?
Sure. So from where I stand in development, our monthly donors are kind of like monthly reminders that there are people who are not only supporting us, but are very much invested in the mission that we have here. And we want to acknowledge those relationships. And we do that by trying to keep everyone who's part of the table informed about what we're doing, especially through behind the scenes looks at some of the aspects of our programming that our monthly donors fund every month. And all of those programming things go toward our 3 goals, which Jonathan has memorized. So I'll let him.
We're working on it. So all of the dollars that come in are helping us achieve 3 missional goals. Economic self-sufficiency. We want each one of our residents, each one of the people who go through our program, we want them to experience a firm foundation financially, being able to really be self-sufficient going forward. We also want healthy connection. We want them to form deep and meaningful relationships. So much of addiction is related to isolation, and we want to break that down. And then finally, we want redemptive beliefs. We're a Christian organization. We serve everyone, but we want them to have healthy beliefs about themselves, about their identity, about God, and about their place in the world, seeing themselves no longer as condemned or as thrown out or garbage, but seeing them as people who have inherent value and dignity. And so I love advocating for this program, this community.
Yeah, and we love reminding you that this good work is going on in our city. So that's what you can expect if you become a member of the table.
And so if you have questions about the table or staff or Providence Network, please put them in the chat and maybe just give us a thumbs up that everything's working. It's helpful to know that in the comments. We did have that technical difficulty, but that's part of the messiness of making things work. But we're really excited to welcome our first guest in, so I have to actually send Jaden away and welcome in our first special guest. Derek Kirkendall is our executive director. Did I pronounce your last name correctly?
There's an invisible R in my last name.
So I've gotten to know Derek over the last year. I've really appreciated his leadership, camaraderie, working together as a team. This has been a wonderful place to be a part of, and we work together in development, but really just trying to be advocates for the whole organization. And I'm inviting Derek in here to ask him a weird, strange question. Derek, where is the weirdest place or strangest place you have ever slept?
Well, I've slept in a lot of nasty places. I think college was one long, nasty place to sleep where I slept. But the most unique was probably a snow cave on Mount Rainier.
Nice.
And it wasn't just that it was sleeping in a snow cave that was weird. It was how warm it was inside the snow cave. The way you build it with a curved roof. And then we had a little lantern. And I mean, it got so warm, we were stripping clothes and didn't sleep real well, but that's definitely the most unique place I've ever slept.
That's awesome. I have a similar story. I slept, the weirdest place was like end of December, the bottom of a cave. Well, it was like 2 levels down in a cave. I slept with 3 other guys. And despite huddling together and having sleeping bags, we were frozen and we left at like 2 a.m. because it did not have the same insulating heat as snow does for some strange reason.
Yeah, that sounds...
One of the things I forgot to set up, but I want to do it now before we let Derek share, is that any new monthly donor that we get during this live stream, Jaden is going to set off a confetti cannon. So I have some eye protection here. I have some ear protection here. And if we can get 6 new monthly donors or 6 increases in monthly donations, so let's say you're already giving $5 a month and you start giving $6 a month, then we're going to set off a confetti cannon. If we get 6 of those, Jane's going to pie me in the face. So that sounds very exciting to her. And maybe that's exciting to you. But so now is a great time if you've been thinking about joining the monthly giving community of the table. We have our website addresses right here, providencenetwork.org/thetable. Go there, fill out the form, start your monthly donation, and we'll get a notification in our email that you've joined, and then Jaden will confetti, and it'll be awesome. Number 2 way is you can increase your monthly donation by going to providencenetwork.org/donor portal. It's also at the bottom of the webpage on our website, providencenetwork.org. You can log in and you can increase your donation amount. Now, if you do that, please email development@providencenetwork.org because we don't get any sort of notification of an increased donation amount. And we do want that to count towards part of this event. So we're really hoping some people will join the live stream. But maybe you're wondering, what am I donating towards? Like, what is Providence Network? And some of you are probably very familiar with us. And some of you, this might be your first time or you need a refresh. And that's why Derek, our executive director, is here to kind of give us the big picture of what Providence Network is, what we're doing in the city of Denver. So maybe you could just take a couple minutes and define what we're doing here.
Well, Providence Network's official mission statement is to heal brokenness from the inside out through faith-based transformational housing communities. And the way that plays out on the ground is that we own 6 properties in the city. We serve about 200 people, men, women, and children a year that are coming out of homelessness, domestic violence, addictions, and really hopelessness. And that's where our unique approach to solving the homelessness problem comes in. And we kind of have 3 distinctives that I talk about. We're long-term, so our transitional program's 2 years, and then the ability to live in our next step housing apartments, longer term. We're also a live-in model, so our staff are choosing to live in the homes and in the apartments, the buildings, with the residents. So it's a very life-on-life community. And then the last is that we are faith-fueled. Our staff see ourselves as missionaries serving in the city. And so those 3 things really kind of set us apart and make us unique in the city as we try to serve our brothers and sisters on the street. We have a $2.2 million budget. Almost 30% of that is made up for by the rents and the program fees that our residents pay themselves. Having a job is part of the program, and so they are able to pay a portion of their services they receive. But the rest of it comes from the community, private citizens, family, foundations, churches, businesses.
Yeah.
So we are very dependent on the generosity of our community. And so an event like this is great. It's a chance for us to tell people that already support us what we're doing, and hopefully add some new people to the table, which is part of the goal today.
Yeah, and I so appreciate you taking the time to be here and sharing like what we're trying to do, because Providence Network has been close to your heart for 15 plus years.
That's right.
You know, this is a community that Derek has invested in for a long time, and I've gotten to invest in over the last year, and it's worth the investment.
Yes.
You know,
we are celebrating our 35th year anniversary this year, and I think that's significant for many reasons, but it shows credibility. It shows that we've been an organization that's been agile and flexible to be able to meet the challenges of the times. And we're in it right now for sure.
Well, thank you, Derek, for being here. I appreciate you coming in to share a little bit. I'm going to invite Jaden back in. I'm going to remind everyone of the ground rule. Oh, okay, apparently confetti is about to happen. Hold on. This is kind of like I am risking trauma because I did this before and it was scary. I'm ready whenever you are, Jaden.
I will be anonymous, but thank you to 2 new donors. One came in before the live stream, one came in as Derek was speaking.
Does Derek also want to set off a confetti can?
Okay,
He's
no.
okay.
Okay, this one's going to be easy for you, Jonathan.
This is a lot of anticipation and a lot of buildup. I'm a little nervous for this, but... All right, thank you. All right, we got one, but apparently we have a second one?
We have a second.
Now what happens if we get a second donor, Jaden? Are you going to set off another cannon?
Yes.
She's looking at me as like, obviously.
Like, I'm not going to tell you when. Just keep your going.
All right, well, I'm gonna keep going, I guess, with defining what this is. I'm gonna put my earplugs in because she might do this at any moment. So it's gonna be, I don't know how well this is gonna work, but this is fun. This is part of the excitement of being a part of a movement, part of what God's doing in the city of Denver, part of what the staff are giving their lives to, right? Caring for our residents and being a part of a program that you walk through life together. And I really like that, the 24 hours a day, 7 days a week commitment that our staff bring. Maybe this is an opportunity for, okay, I got to take these out. I feel like I'm yelling. I'm going to leave this on because I just don't know. She's very intimidating. Like I am her boss, but this is intimidating. maybe we can define our roles a little bit as we do a little bit of a transition here. So Jaden works in development with me. Development's a fancy way of saying fundraising, right? But really we're storytelling. We're getting to advocate for the needs of the organization, for this awesome mission, changing lives from the inside out, walking with people out of homelessness, domestic violence, substance abuse into flourishing, right? Really trying to branch the path to go a new direction in life, to thriving. And so we both get to be a part of that through development, kind of this outward focus. But Jaden also is a part of Providence Network staff another way.
I am. I joined Providence Network as a living community partner at Joy House, which is our home for women and children who are coming out of homelessness, either due to domestic abuse, or drug abuse. And we also have some immigrants too who come and are really needing a place to live. And so on that side, I get to see where the funds that you're giving us go to on a daily basis. And it does kind of inspire me to be here in development. I don't know how easy it would be here if I wasn't convinced that the way that we're stewarding our money and the impact that it has in the lives of our residents is real and good.
It is very good. And, I give monthly. I'm a part of this because I believe in what we're doing. And so I'm just excited to go through this today. And I think confetti is appropriate. Okay, hold on.
Wait, before I do this, why are the reasons they should give monthly?
Why
Jonathan?
give monthly? 3 reasons. It's easy and convenient. So you can go to providencenetwork.org/thetable to give for the first time, or if you want to increase your donation, you can go to providencenetwork.org/donor portal. But you can do it by the website. You could also mail a gift in every single month. You could write a check. We have people do that, and it's very meaningful to see their handwriting, shout out. You can also do bill pay. So like banks do have bill pay, and you could set up like an automatic reoccurring gift, or you could do it manually every month. And you could also do a bank account through our website, the table giving form, credit, debit card. And guess what? You can change your donation. You can increase it. You can decrease it. You can stop it at any time. I'm feeling very nervous. Jaden is standing threateningly right behind the camera. That's number one. It's easy and convenient. Number two is it's reliable. It's reliable for your planning, right? Because then you can budget. You can say, hey, every month, just like I pay utilities, I'm going to gift some impact to Providence Network through a financial donation. But it's also reliable for us. It helps improve our cash flow, our bottom line. That's a blessing to us as an organization to have a better sense of what's coming in. You might not know this, but many nonprofits always are kind of waiting for that end of year giving. That's very important. We really appreciate that. And so if that's what's best for you, please continue to do that. But it's really great to have kind of that monthly contribution. All right, so number one is easy and convenient. Number two, it's reliable. Number three, tell me when to put these earbuds in. It's encouraging. So like you giving monthly is like you sending 12 little encouragement cards to me, to Jaden, to our staff, saying like you believe in us. You believe in our mission. You want to partner with us all year round. You believe in our staff and in our stories and what's happening here. I wanted to share briefly. Should I put these on? Or are you okay? 1 minute. Okay. I'm going to share a quick story. One of our residents, where were they sleeping before they came to this program? On a sidewalk without a sleeping bag or a pillow. When it was raining, this resident, he said I could share his name, Gabriel, in a dumpster to try to get out of the rain, right? And that's the kind of experience they had. But when they came to Providence Network, like you get your own room, you get a bed, in some cases you get an apartment like at Joy House, and that's where healing begins. That's where this new stability begins, right? A restful night of sleep makes a huge impact. And so I want to go ahead and introduce the concept of monthly donations, like the impact. Like what does $5 a month do?
Earplugs.
Earplugs, okay. So thank you for joining the table. That second donor, you're causing me Nothing. It's great. No, we're so excited. We're so thankful. Here, I just want to like throw some at Jaden so she at least gets some joy of that. That was fun. That was a multicolored one. That's our first multicolored one. But I want to go ahead and introduce the first $5 impact amount. So let's say you can sign up for $5 a month. What does that accomplish? Well, you make a daily impact in the lives of our program residents by your joining a team of faithful donors, right? You don't have to do it all. I don't have to do it all. But when we lock hands and we do things together, we become stronger and we can make a bigger impact. And so I want to take a moment and invite Breno in, one of our staff member here. So see ya, Jaden, come back with more confetti, I hope.
Hopefully.
So I'm going to invite Breno to come join me. Breno is one of our live-in community partners. Can you close the door just so we help with the volume? Come on in, Breno. He's one of our live-in community partners at Silver Lining House. So, Breno, I'm going to scoot you a little bit forward. Where are you from?
I'm from Brazil, Jonathan.
Yeah, Brazil. Any specific part of Brazil?
From the south part, actually. Yeah.
Okay. And you've come up here, and now you're in Denver. How did you end up in Denver, of all places?
Actually, I came to work as a cook. I came to Denver to do a 1-year program where I was working at the Galo Rockies Hotel, and I ended up getting to know Providence and the ministry through Pastor Andy. I started going to Open Door Fellowship, and I needed housing, So the pastors told me there was a place that would be suited for me. That is Silver Lining House. It's a transitional house for young men from the age to 18 to 25. So I came here when the house was still closed, and there was like only staff, and that's how I got to Pro.
That's fantastic. So from Brazil to Denver as a cook, and little did you know that you were also going to be a part of our ministry, part of what we're doing, walking with people through recovery, transformation. Breno has been such a light and encouragement at Silver Lining House. By being here every day, I mean, you take vacations, he has time away. But by living life here, you've been an encouragement, and then, welcoming new residents in here at Silver Lining House, you've been an important part of that. So from all the donors and all of those people in development, all the staff and residents, thank you, Breno. Thank you for what you're doing. You're an important part of the organization.
Amen. Thank you.
What's the weirdest place you've ever slept in?
In my car.
You slept in your car. Okay. How was it? Was it comfortable?
It wasn't actually. I was about to leave, and I actually passed out, so I woke up with the car turned on. So It was weird, yeah.
It was weird. Okay, so I slept in your car. I went on a hike the other day, and I was tired before I took my hike, so I took like a little nap in the parking lot for 20 minutes in my car.
Whoa.
But that was probably not the same as what you were experiencing. I wanted to invite Breno in here so you could just meet one of our live-in staff members at Silver Lining House. And maybe you could share a little bit about your own story and why you love Silver Lining House, why you love Providence Network, and why, not just circumstantially why you're a part of this, but like why do you choose to be a part of this?
Amen. I would love to do that. I've been in recovery for 2 years and 8 months now. I've been sober, and I've been to a lot of places. I work in rehab centers in Brazil. I have a history of going back and forth from recovery rehab centers, and I came to America already with some clean time, and I already worked in some rehab centers, so I had the mentality of what I should do in my calling in Christ, that is working in ministry and working with lives. And I never knew a place like Providence and the way that Providence work. I was at Providence House for almost a month before coming to Silver Lining, so I joined the meetings. I saw the work that it was being done with the guys and the girls, and it's awesome to see the environment that was created. It's a family environment where you can grow as a human being, as a spiritual being. And I saw that work at Prov, and then I came to Silver Lining, and now God gave me the opportunity to be part of it, not just seeing other people doing the work, but being part of the work. And it's priceless to see how many people are inside of the Providence Network, and they have this calling of helping, reaching out, and making people's lives better, you know, through these values. And I saw a lot of people coming in and changing in so little time, and it's like God's work, you know. It's people that are being moved by the presence and helping and reaching out in those lives. And I think everybody at Providence has this sense of calling, and that's what makes it real special. It's not just a place where we can build your recovery, but it's a place where people make you feel valued and as family. I myself, as a staff, I am somebody that Providence Network embraced and helped. So I can say by myself that Providence is a place where you can grow, and they invest on you. The staff invest on you. They invest time. They want to see you grow. You know, it's not just something that you go to recovery. You're inside of a family that wants to make your recovery better and make you a spiritual being, and that's awesome. Myself, Providence invested on myself because right now I'm becoming full-time staff. I was 1 year. My visa was up to 1 year, and the whole crew, since the HR to program director, everybody got together to help me through my visa situation in order for me to be working in the Providence Network. And I feel like I am in a huge family. I feel like I'm part of this family, and I feel like I'm ready to give back. And
awesome.
That's God. That's God.
Thank you, bro. So Breno is giving back by being here presently, you know, physically being here.
Amen.
But we can't all do that, right? Like, I can't be here every day. I live in Thornton, and I have a family out there, and I commute in. And our donors, our partners can't be here. But you can enable what is happening here through giving, whether that's an end of year gift or by joining the table. We're hoping to get some today, or increasing your monthly donation. Like, you are making an impact. You are enabling what is happening right here.
True.
And so thank you. Thank you for being a part of that. And I want to highlight a couple things in Breno's story. So you said you're in recovery for 2 years, some months?
2 years and 8 months.
Yeah, 2 years and 8 months. And thank you for sharing that with us. But one of the things that we like about our program is many of our staff have their own recovery stories. Many of them are 10 years, 12 years, 2 years, 5 years, 3 years into recovery. And we think that's really valuable because if you're exiting a life of homelessness or being unhoused or addiction, it's really helpful to have someone who's ahead of you in their story.
Amen.
Right? So a peer who is 2 months ahead, or a peer who is 6 months ahead, or 9 months ahead, or 18 months ahead, because you're saying, if they can do it, I can do it. And really mentoring each other. And that goes all the way to the staff, who then can say, hey, I'm 2 years, 8 months into this. If I can do it, you can do it.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. We're all human beings. We're doing this together.
To live in examples of recovery. That's awesome.
Recovery is a community effort. And then I wanted to highlight another connection that Breno brought up, and that's Andy Cannon. So Andy is one of our co-founders. We're going to interview him in just a second. But knowing him, he's a pastor over at Open Door Fellowship, plus he works at Providence Network, really mentors, encourages. He's going to be one of our guests, so stick around. He's coming up. But that connection, right? That human connection of someone who's ahead of you, who wants to encourage you. And I will say, many of our staff today that we're interviewing, Derek, Dana, and Andy, they are all pouring into the other staff. So I feel like I'm growing as a person under Derek's mentorship and Andy's encouragement and Dana's encouragement. And I think many of the staff feel that way, right? That we're growing in our gifting, but also in who we are as humans. And so thank you for partnering with us at Providence Network to make that a reality. Also, you have an Instagram, and I want to give a shout out. See it in the corner? See the Instagram counter and Facebook counter? Brenda made an awesome video like advertising that for us. But if you like our Facebook page, chances are you already do, or you follow our Instagram account, that will start flipping and we'll get another follower. So please share this live stream on your Facebook page. Follow those channels. It would be fun to see it get activated while we're doing this. All right, I've talked enough. Brenda, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to call Jaden back in. The good news. Thank you. Someone out there, one of our Providence Network friends, decided to join the table. Two again? Oh man, we're already up to 4. Like to get 6, I get a pie in the face.
Keep talking.
Do you want to like?
Keep going,
I could do some sort of like spray it. I don't know. Oh my gosh, that was the worst one yet. That was scary. This is your fault. All right, there you go. This is if you're watching this in 3D, have some confetti. Oh my gosh, that is so scary. Thankfully, these are air powered, so they're pretty like safe. But man, there is a pop, and there's like this visceral reaction that I cannot help. So this is not put on. This is real. Oh, okay. Jade, maybe you could talk for a couple minutes.
Yes, while you get your heart rate down. I'm really happy to do that. Okay, well, I think this segment was to celebrate our donations, and so far we have 4 new members to the table of 6. So we are getting very close to pieing Jonathan's face, which I'm excited for. And increasing our community partners. Thank you. We did have a few questions come in. For those of you who are trying to join the table online, if you can't see this, the URL is providencenetwork.org/the table. And you can feel free to email us, text us if you have our numbers, put in the comments if you're having trouble, and we will try to help you as the live stream goes on. The second is we got a question to talk about the different houses and maybe the sort of most effective way to give. And so I am happy to take the houses, but I think there are also some interesting stats that come with being a transitional housing program and not an emergency like homelessness sort of organization, both of which are still good, just a little bit different. So if I may, we have 6 houses. 3 of those are first step houses, which is our 2-year transitional program. Those are Joy House, which is the one I live in for women and children. Silver Lining House, which is where we are located currently, and that's for young at-risk men, right?
Yeah, ages 18 to 25, young men coming out of homelessness and addiction.
Sure. And then we have Providence House, which is for people who are generally a little bit older but have gone through decades of addiction or homelessness or both. And the recent stats that I saw, is that our city is spending maybe $40K per person per year in what we think are emergency services for our homeless community here in Denver. In our program, we're averaging maybe $10K. I know for the Women in Joy House, it's around $10K a year. And that's not to disparage the emergency efforts, but it's just when people are ready to move from needing emergency services to getting ready to get out of homelessness, we are doing it at a cost that is $30,000 less a year. And with maybe what are our stats, like an 81% success rate on sort of our key metrics, and hopefully they come out with a lasting community. So you can, if you are giving online, designate a house that you wish that would go to, or you can give it to our general funds. And I don't want to discourage general fund giving because it is toward our operations, which covers everything from our counseling to our meals and things that we do need on a daily basis to make sure that all the elements of our program are running smoothly. We never have to worry about them. But you can always ask if you have a specific demographic or cause at your heart, and we're happy to take those designations as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great overview. And the 40,000 was a little bit dated. I don't know what the exact number is now. I know we have a lot of efforts going on in the city of Denver, and we applaud anyone who's willing to step into this issue, right? We view ourselves as on the same team.
Yes.
Whether you're a nonprofit or a government organization that's trying to address homelessness and addiction. Like, this is a big issue, and we're trying to work together. And so thank you for that. And each of the homes has a different focus. We also have our 3 next step homes. So we have 3 first step homes: Prov House, Joy House, and Silver Lining House, right? Different focuses. And then we have 3 next step homes, We have Victory House, Clausen House, and Gibson House. And yes, you can designate your monthly giving towards a particular house. I generally encourage people to just give to the general budget because it's going to make it to the houses and the house that needs it. But if you're sitting on the line and you're like, well, I don't really want to designate the general budget, but there is a house that's on my heart, then yeah, do that. If that's what pushes you over. But if you're thinking about maybe what's a little bit easier for us as an organization, I know our bookkeeper would love it if you just did general designation. So that's a little shout out to you. All right, let's welcome in our next $15 a month. What's the impact that $15 a month can make? And I'm going to invite in one of our co-founders, right? So $5 a month helps you become a part of a community that's donating, and $15 a month makes a big impact. Come on in and sit right down, Andy. $15 a month combats isolation and nurtures community by setting 2 plates at the table for a shared meal. So this comes out of Providence House. We spend roughly $80, $85 a meal, and it's a shared meal. The staff and the members come together. I think it's every night, but Friday night. And they sit and they eat. So that works out to $5, $6, $7 a meal. And so if you pay for 2 of those, it's not that you're feeding someone, right? Like you can buy a meal for anyone and feed them. You're actually providing community, right? You're providing connection. And so I'm going to go ahead and ask Andy a question. Hey, Derek, could you close the door? I'm going to ask Andy a question. So Andy Cannon is one of our co-founders. You've been around since the beginning. And been a wonderful encouragement to me. But what's the weirdest place you've ever slept in, Andy?
Yeah, I had 3 places come to mind, actually. The first one was way back in the Jesus movement years when I was a young college student. And so many people were coming to the Lord, and we lived in community. Back in the hippie days, and we actually had to build 4 levels high bunk beds. We had 3 sets of 4-level high bunk beds in one room, and I slept in the very top bunk, which I loved because I had my own little cozy position up in there, away from everything.
How many feet up was that?
It was a lot. It was those old ceilings that from mansions that 10-foot ceilings.
Oh my goodness!
And you just climbed up there and just got into.
You had a guardrail?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, they were homemade built bunk beds.
Hope you don't fall. Did you ever fall out?
No.
Do you want to share the second place?
Well, the second was just a little shelter that we basically was an overflow. That when we go out on the streets and bring people in, that they slept there in that shelter. And I slept there with them as kind of watching, make sure everything was okay. So that one, I really became familiar with the smell of men's stinky feet. So
okay.
To this day, I can't forget that smell. I detected very, very easily.
Wow. Well, thanks for doing that. Sleeping with them, I mean, that's a little illustration of what we do at Providence Network, right? Mm-hmm. We get in the smell. We're with them.
We're with them, yes.
24/7. Do you want to save the third story, or do you want to share it now?
It's just quick. My own son, one of my 3 sons, fell into addiction himself, and in my attempt to help him, I took him out into the countryside up in the mountains here, and we slept on the ground by a stream and didn't have a tent or anything. It's kind of a desperate situation.
Yeah.
And so anyway, those are my 3 that came to mind, my biggest 3 places I slept.
I slept outside under the stars once in France, actually. I was part of a camp. And the guys were on one side and the girls were on the other, and the leaders slept in the middle. And it was just in the middle of a big field. And it was beautiful. Yeah. So it's not always bad, but interesting. And I'd be curious to know, type in the comments, where's the strangest place you've ever slept? Where's the weirdest place? I'd love for Jaden to share those when she comes back in. But maybe we could talk a little bit about this $15 of impact, right? It doesn't take $100 or $1,000 a month. I'm not stopping anyone from doing that. But $5 a month makes an impact. $15 a month makes an impact. And as we think about shared meals, how important are meals as a part of what we do at Providence Network?
Yeah, it's part of a strategy of building a community. And I think the nightly meal, just provides that sense of community. It provides a sense of stability. It provides a sense of normalcy. I've heard this so many times over the years. People that are venturing out into the community with the job and just newly sober and all the temptations that are out there. And we all stand in a big circle and pray before the meal. And many times I've had them share with me, all I could think about is I can make it back home. And if I can just make it back home, I'll be okay. And, and then just sitting down at that meal, they just kind of deflate all that anxiety and just feel like they made it home, So to have that there every night just creates, a safe place for people to come back to. And especially when they're very early in their stages of sobriety.
One of the things I've heard from, I think it was Bill Downer's our house director over at Providence House, is that, you might for a while eat and maybe leave the meal because you're still sort of have your walls up. You still sort of have your guard up. And it takes a while to want to linger, want to be a part of the dinner.
Yes.
And so you get to see that.
Yes.
You get to be a part of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's fun to watch, actually. People come in and they're nervous, they're shy, they're closed down, they don't trust the community, so they eat right away and off they go. And then to watch a month later, 6 months later, a year later, and they're the ones hanging out, talking to everybody and encouraging the new folks that are coming in and laughing and joking, and it's just wonderful to watch that transformation.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We call our monthly giving community the table because we believe in having a seat for those that need it, right?
Yes.
Making space for community, for relationship, but we also want to make a space for you. And so if you're on the line, maybe I'll join the table, maybe not. Would you please consider it? Like you're taking a spot, a symbolic, metaphoric spot at the table as part of this community. And now I think I'm going to switch spots with Jaden because we're running a little bit behind on time. And instead of having you go out, Andy, I'm just going to have Jaden come in, and Jaden's going to take my spot, and she's going to talk about our next impact amount. That's really cool. And I'll just go ahead and hand it over to you, Jaden.
So while Jaden's sitting down, I just wanted to tell you one more thing about the meals. Is at Providence House, we have the residents cook the meals, and they learn cooking skills. They learn to schedule the meals in a week in advance, and go down to the food pantry and plan the meal, and we buy whatever we don't have for them. So that's one of the great benefits too about the community meal, and also dealing with the pressure of, man, I'm making this meal for the whole house.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great growth challenge for them too.
Yes, I would say as staff as well, my ability to plan and cook chicken particularly has improved significantly. At least I hope. I guess we'd have to ask the ladies at Joy House if that's really true. All right, Andy. So I think I'm here. I'm going to announce our $35 a month and what this contributes to our programs in the house. $35 a month helps someone take the first step toward healing from trauma with a one-on-one counseling session. So you've been around. You probably have a lot of stories about how counseling has helped our residents. Do you care to share any?
Absolutely. I think first, just the importance of Christian counseling. One of my favorite scriptures is Proverbs 25. It says, "The purposes of a man's heart are deep waters, but a man of understanding draws them out." Mm-hmm. And one of the characteristics of people who have suffered trauma or addiction is they've kind of, in a self-protective mode, shut down all of their emotions, stuffed all their trauma, and just kind of exist. And then when those feelings come up, they self-medicate to keep them down. Mm-hmm. So once they start to get in the house, get stable, get a period of sobriety, and start dealing with real life, all those feelings become to the surface. And so it's so critical that they have a person they completely trust, that they're meeting with one-on-one, that it's all confidential, that then they can begin to open up and share, and then help, and that counselor help them explore and look at those deep wounded areas and let the light of Christ come in and do that healing.
So how do we, where do our counseling services come from? Things, logistics of that.
Yes, so we are very privileged to have internships, master's level internships, and people going for their license after they've graduated that have participated in internship program with supervision all these years, all these 35 years. We've remained one of the top internship spots for Denver Seminary, and some with CCU as well, and some other colleges around and universities around. So,
right. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks. I'm going to call Jonathan back in, but I'm going to stay in your seat, Jonathan. Andy, is there anything else you'd like to say before we head out?
No, I just, I just can't overemphasize, I don't think, the counseling piece and how much healing that has brought to our residents. And I remember years ago when I first started the homes, I was so discouraged because I couldn't get counseling for the homeless folks I was working with because of the cost. And I remember crying out to God, Lord, you love these people. There's got to be a way that you could work out that they could get what they need, you know, not just those with the money to do it, but the poorest amongst us. And look what the Lord has done.
Yeah, look what He has done.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's to all who have supported us and all
Yes.
who will. Well, thank you so much, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jonathan, you can come on in.
Okay. Thank you, Annie. Should we swap seats real quick? If you could shut the door on the way out, Andy, that'd be great. I love Andy. He's so great. How we doing? Do we have any more increases or new table donations?
Not yet.
Not yet. So we've gotten 4. We're super grateful for that. And if you're on the line thinking, should I increase my donation? It could be a couple bucks. That is enough per month to get some new donations. So, and Jaden is watching. You got to email us too. That's the part 2. We don't get a notification. You got to email development@providencenetwork.org. All right. I think we're going then to, what are we going to next?
50. We're going to bring in our board member, Casey.
Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and invite Casey Picard, our one of our board members, the chair of our board. She's going to come in and help us talk about $50 a month of impact. Now, $50 a month of impact. So if you say, I'm going to get $50 a month, obviously it goes into one big pool, but what can that help accomplish? Well, it helps someone, it equips a resident on their journey towards self-sufficiency through professional case management. So we have a case manager. She's awesome. Her name's Jamie Rosenberry, and she is offering her services, helping all of our homes, and $50 a month helps make her work possible. But I wanted to bring Casey in to introduce yourself. Maybe you could share a little bit about how you became chair, how you got on the board, like what drew you here. But before you do that, I want to ask the question I've been asking everyone, and that was just part of our table theme. Where's the weirdest place you have ever slept?
So my name is Casey Pickard, and I am currently the chair of the board. And the weirdest place that I have ever slept, I have a memory that I think is a real memory and not a dream. Sometimes I confuse those things. But as a Girl Scout or a Brownie, when I was a kid, we slept in a mall one time, like as a troop. I don't know why we did it, but I just remember like tile floors and white walls and like bright lights all night long.
Interesting.
That's what I got
I know they do like library sleep. I never done that. I did like a church youth group sleepover.
Yeah.
Sorry for mispronouncing your last name. I'm just learning how to pronounce it correctly right now.
Everyone
misspelled.
thinks that I'm related to a Star Trek character.
Oh,
it's okay.
That's fantastic. So you're chair of the board. So how did you get there?
So I got involved. At the time that I got involved, I had a friend that was working for Providence Network. And she was in charge of running Mr. Hugs, which is an event that's coming up like the first weekend of December, and was looking for volunteers. And so she reached out to her friend group and was like, hey, do you guys want to get involved? And so we participated, and that was our first kind of exposure to an event with Providence Network. And through that and learning just about how important relationships are, and I have found that to be very true in my life. The church that we attend is very focused on relationship being important. And so that really drew me to Providence Network. And so through that experience, I just got more and more involved and eventually became a board member.
Yeah, and we're so grateful, for each one of our board members and the voice that they offer and the volunteering, the service. But Casey's coming down here to help us out, to share a little bit about the impact that case management makes at Providence Network. So maybe you could share what you're familiar with and how you've seen this make an impact.
Yeah, I think that one of the things I think about when I think about the case management is early on in my experience as a board member, we did an exercise where Derek had us fill out a sheet of how much we thought the cost of living in Denver was, right? Like how much is childcare, how much is housing, how much is food, how much is transportation. So we filled out this sheet, and frankly, all of our numbers were extremely low when we filled it out ourselves. And it was shocking to me that a single mom at Joy House had to make almost as much money as I was making as a graduate from law school to live in Denver with one child. If she had two, those costs just increased exponentially, right? Like to get childcare, to be able to work, to support yourself, to provide housing and food and transportation and medical care for yourself and your children is just phenomenally expensive. And so one of the things that our case managers does is helps these moms navigate all of the systems that help them find those resources: medical care, jobs, child care, education, all of those things. And instead of having to try to navigate 6 different systems to get all those supports, they have one case manager that they can go to that can help them navigate that experience. And that's frankly life-changing. Like as a mom myself with 2 kids, like it is frantic at times to just get through the day and to have to deal with instability of housing, medical care, childcare on top of that is unimaginable.
Yeah, that's such a great example of the impact that a caseworker makes. So we have a caseworker who helps all the houses, all the residents, and like her understanding what people are going through, and not, it's different from one of our live-in community members or one of our staff members that's on site, and it gives her the ability to kind of come in and really focus on their particular need, whether that's a legal need or employment or some other relational need, and really focus on that and help them come up with a solution. And so she's like our professional problem solver.
Yeah.
And that makes a huge impact when you have someone that's advocating for you, that's on your team. And all of our staff members really do that. And thank you for being on our team, Casey.
Sure.
You've been wonderful. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for dropping in and sharing.
Sure.
So, being a part of the Providence Network team.
Well, I don't have to get a pie in the face. So.
Well, we need 2 more either increase donations or new members to the table for me to get a pie in the face. So come on, you guys can do it. You can do it. Guys and gals. All right, thank you, Casey. I'm going to welcome Jaden back in. We're going to do a little status update of where we are. Any new increases or new donors?
Soon. I know that there are a few folks who are having trouble inserting their information into a form. So if that's the case, if you email us or text us if you know our numbers, we can try a few different links because we have some different submissions. And if that doesn't work and you want to pledge it, I will blast Jonathan with a confetti cannon anyway, and then we can sort out the deals later.
Yeah,
There are a few folks.
Send us your phone number at development@providencenetwork.org, and after this live stream, we'll call you. We'll get it worked out. Happy to take pledges and confetti in the face. Jane, I have a deal to offer you.
Okay, what's your deal?
So I give monthly. I believe in what we're doing, and I'm willing to
Stop.
increase.
Donation has come in. Goggles.
No! I was like midstream. Hold on. Okay, I'll just do this.
This is dedicated to my friend Sarah.
Oh! Oh! Okay. Before we have our next guest come in, Jane, I want to offer you a deal. So that's at 5. So this is really a self-detrimental, I don't know what the right word is. It's not helpful to me because I can get us to 6. Personally, I will increase my monthly donation by 10% if I can confetti you.
Okay.
Yes! Here's some glasses. This will get us to 6, but we still have a couple more confetti cannons. So I don't normally go around wanting to confetti, the people that I work with, but I'm going to make a special, decision just for you, Jaden. So, how does this work? That's terrifying.
I feel like that still scared you more than it scared me.
Jaden's just tougher than me. All right, let's invite our next guest in, Dana Jones. And actually, I'm stepping out, right? Because you're staying, Jaden.
Oh,
yeah.
that's right.
So you'll introduce our final amount of $100 of impact. So if you want to partner with us at 100, there's confetti actually on the 4K camera. So I'm going to step out, and Dana's going to step in.
Welcome, Dana.
Thank you.
Well, LiveStream, Dana has a very special place in my heart because when I
Aw.
was interviewing for Joy House, she was the first person to interview me. And I think I really got the tenor of the organization and was surprised by, I think, the intentionality of the organization and also our adherence to best practices. I asked her a lot of questions about why we chose what we do in our programming, and she was taking everything question by question. So, first,
We made a good choice.
yes,
Hiring
thank you. Okay, $100 a month here. It encourages healthy relationships, habits, and growth with weekly individualized curriculum and coaching. We're just talking about some of the programming that we have. And Dana, I almost said a weird name, is
Used to.
our program director.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that means you're in charge of putting all of that together. She's kind of always doing research and staying up to date on the research, on academic research about how best to kind of run our homes. So I want to hear a lot about that. Before we talk about that, what is the weirdest place that you've ever slept?
Well, this is kind of fun. I was a bit of a wild child in my teens, and during a runaway stint, there's this building downtown, the Old Colorado History Museum, and it slanted up from the ground so you could get to the roof. So me and a few friends ran up the side and slept on the roof that night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Would you do it again?
Well, maybe under different circumstances. It was kind of fun. But I wouldn't run away again.
Yeah. No, we would love to keep you here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Dana, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. So I've been with the network for, I think, 15 years. And have been in a variety of roles, most recently as the program director. So I do oversight at our homes and working on staff training and development, and as Jaden mentioned, trying to bring in best practices of trauma-informed care, recovery work, and all of those great things, and just try to support the staff because now they're doing the live-in and hard work, and we want to support them as best we can so they can stay for the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you talk about some of the best practices? One that I remember you had me read up on was the sort of peer-to-peer model. But are there any that really sort of shape the character of our organization and that you think might be most impactful for the people who are in our homes?
Well, I think, and as Andy always talks about, the heartbeat of the ministry is that life-on-life model with the live-in staff, most of whom have lived experience. So it naturally also brings in the peer-to-peer support as well. So, just being a support, listening to residents, letting them set goals, and we just get to support them in their goals. So we're not here to tell them everything they should be doing, but we want to support them and their goals and dreams and inspire them to reach their dreams. One of our other staff, her passion is helping residents reach dreams beyond their wildest imagination. They didn't even know they could reach them. Yeah.
And then can you tell us maybe what programming looks like, say, in Joy House? So from the first day that they walk in, and then what do we expect they might have done or accomplished by the time that they're out the doors after 2 years?
Sure. So it is a goal-oriented program. And so, again, with the case manager and live-in team, we're trying to find out what their goals are. And so they need to be productive. They need to be working or in school or job training. So that's a big piece, is being productive. Working on financial goals, relational goals, transportation, and of course, stable housing after they leave. We have them save money, and we do a savings match by the time they leave of up to $1,000. So that's significant.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, that's
awesome. And then as far as in the program, they meet with a live-in staff mentor every week for guidance and support and accountability. They get spiritual support. We have weekly groups and house meals, group counseling, individual counseling. It's a lot. These are big programs. It's not just a place to live and even come and have community, but there's a lot of expectation. We respect our residents so greatly because they have to humble themselves to live under rules and authority, and they have to work hard to get to the other side. They come in crisis, and we want them to be stable when they leave.
Yes. And so when they graduate, it really is a huge celebration, and we invite people that they know. We host a party for them, and we talk about the ways that we have seen them grown, or the things that they've even done for us in their time being in the homes. It's a really special thing that we have here. Well, Dana, is there anything else you would like to tell our live stream viewers before we bring Jonathan back in?
Yeah, I just wanted to speak, to the impact of those live-in staff mentors. We had a resident not that long ago come in who's to Joy House with her children, and her countenance was low, and her eyes were to the ground, and she was just meek and beaten down after a very abusive relationship. And that one-on-one relationship was so impactful. This staff mentor poured into her, spoke life into her, spoke scripture over her, and it just wasn't long at all before you could see her personality come out. She could make eye contact. She started believing in herself and talked about believing in herself, and it started achieving goals. It's just remarkable to see the transformation.
Yes. So thank you, everyone who's joined today, and everyone who has been supportive for a long time, because you really do help make that possible. Thank you so much, Dana, for all you're doing, for being here. Jonathan, welcome back.
I can bring said pie.
I will unwrap it slowly as you close us out.
Show the live stream what we got here. So we have some. What is it?
This is a pie cream French silk, 8-inch frozen. That has been thawing.
If it's a frozen, so a little known fact, Jaden was trying to get a pecan pie to pie me.
It was a joke.
It was a joke. It was kind of funny though. That would be a little more painful. So I'm glad that you got this. And there's also some pumpkin pie that we can actually eat later. Dana's standing at the door to watch. You should get a photo of this. So we want to review, and I want to tell a story to you, because I want to tell the story of impact that I actually started, because I want to tell you about Gabriel. So you can go and you can watch a follow-up interview with Gabriel and Ash on our YouTube channel, and it's an amazing story. So Gabriel struggled with addiction, and he came after many years of struggling with, I think it was like 20 years of addiction, and then his wife and his daughter had to leave him because of because of the anger that he was experiencing, because of the instability associated with addiction. He became homeless. He slept outside of a lawyer's office, on the cement, on the sidewalk, no pillows, no blanket, slept in a dumpster because of a rainstorm. Eventually came to Providence House, and he went through our 2-year transformational program. At the end, he graduated, and his wife and daughter came to the program and celebrated with him. And then he moved into our Next Step housing, and his daughter and his wife were able to move in with him and be reunified. So now he's in recovery. He's working, helping other people with addiction and recovery. He's truly giving back. He's a part of what we're doing, the table. A wonderful example. But the thing that we celebrate the most is his renewal of that relationship with his wife and daughter. So it's very special. Go check that out on the YouTube channel. It's wonderful. Share it. I just could watch it all day. I don't have time. Why give monthly? Well, you receive behind the scenes videos. We love to send those out every month. It's a joy to make. Jaden has one upcoming that's really cool. I'm excited about that one. It's easy, it's convenient. You can give by mail, you can give by bill pay, bank, credit card, debit card. You can change or stop your reoccurring donation at any time. It's consistent. It helps you plan, helps us plan, helps our budget. It's encouraging. I just like celebrate. I'm humbled. I am truly humbled anytime someone begins to donate monthly. And I want to review the amounts starting at $100. So $100 of impact a month encourages healthy relationships, habits, and growth with weekly individualized curriculum and coaching. Really enables our staff to do what they do. Do you want to go back and forth? Okay, she's doing her own thing. $50 a month equips a resident on their journey towards self-sufficiency through professional case management. $35 a month helps someone take the first step toward healing from trauma with one-on-one counseling session. $15 a month combats isolation and nurtures community by setting 2 plates at the table for a shared meal. $5 a month makes a daily impact in the lives of our program residents by your joining a team of faithful donors. So today is all about you and Providence Network and how we can work together to love on the city of Denver, to help love our neighbor that's often in a position of risk and vulnerability. So thank you to all of our new monthly donors. You guys are awesome.
Yes.
We're celebrating you, and today's really been a celebration. And then we're also grateful if you are already giving to the table for increasing your donation. That makes an impact. It really does help. So thank you for that.
Yes, if I can say, we're saying goodbye at Joy House to one of our residents who's graduated and moving on to Next Step Housing, still with us. And if it wasn't for your ability to respond to calls of generosity and for your concern for your neighbors, like her story wouldn't really be possible. Like her kid being able to live in a home with other children, go to a good school. We don't know how possible that would have been. And I'm always moved by people who are just willing to like give what they can because they want to, make a difference in the place that they live and in the lives of others. So we're grateful. And we're going to acknowledge every single one. So that brings me to the count.
Yeah. How many did we get?
So after Jonathan pledged his 10% increase and then blasted me with a confetti cannon, we had 2 more people join the table. And because we do really care about everyone who donates, I'm not going to skip the confetti cannon. It will be 2 confetti cannons plus a pie in the face.
Oh my
we
goodness.
We made it to the pie in the face.
Wow.
Jonathan, congratulations.
Hey, thank you. Really appreciate you guys. Thanks for this. Oh, thanks for this. And Jaden, just go ahead. I'm gonna move my microphone. She doesn't even have to blast. She's not prepared for this. I'm just covering her with confetti.
I should make you uncover the pie.
Right. Don't get on my computer.
Would you like to do the honors?
No, you should do it. Thank you.
Okay, will this go on my annual review?
This will go on Jaden's annual. No, it's great. You just did a good job. I mean,
I figure they should see this.
I've never truly been pied in the face, so you just go for it.
It can be a teamwork, so I'm just gonna push your head gently into the pie.
Just go for it. I feel like that's not really you really gotta
Are you gonna do that?
Oh, wow. There we go. There you go.
As you can. All right. Well, I promised Jonathan that I would close us out. So thank you so much for joining us here today. Does it taste really good?
It really is a great pie.
If you have any lingering questions or you're having problems becoming a monthly donor or anything at all about what we do, what we stand for, please shoot us an email at development@Providence Network. Nope. And we'd be happy to answer your questions. Thank you so much, everyone who decided to join the table. We'll hopefully see you around.
All right. Bye, friends.